Felt alone in the dark, tears falling in the rain, heart full of thunder, soul wrapped in pain. But then I heard a whisper blowing through the trees. You're not forgotten, you're still seen by me. Yeah, he's watching over my soul, every high, every low. He's in control, he's watching. Love never sleeps, eyes like fire, and his promise he keeps. My refuge, he's my calm, my forever in a storm. Yeah, he's watching over me. I tried to run, I tried to hide, made mistakes I still can't justify, but mercy met me in my shame. Grace found me and called my name. Yes, watching.
I will instruct you and teach you the way you should go. I will count you with my mouth.
Yeah, he's watching over my soul, every high, every low. He's in control, he's watching. Love never sleeps, eyes like fire, and his promise he keeps. My shelter, he's my balm, even when I'm broken and calm. Yeah, he's watching, he's always watching me. He watched me in the valley, loved me through my fears. He counted every heartbeat, bottled up my tears. Oh, he never left my side through the darkest fight. He's the moon in my midnight, the dawn in my night. Don't need to fear every prayer I speak. He's already near. My soul believes, guiding my steps with eternal light. He's my father, he's my friend, my beginning and my end. Yeah, he's watching over me. He's watching. He sees me. He's watching. He frees me. He's watching. Through the storm. He's watching. Yeah, keeps me. He's watching. Always watching. He's watching. Watching. Yeah.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to talk about an incident that happened at a football game. And, we got nothing but talent among our young men, especially when they're into college football and they're playing. And there tends to be a lot of jealousy because of their abilities that they have. Sometimes it's so much jealousy that it becomes physical, and that's exactly what happened. It was a Texas A&M cop that was there. You know how it is. They're regular cops, but they get assigned to working at a stadium. Well, this was the situation. And I guess his favorite team was losing, and this young man, you know, these young black men that can run, they can catch a ball, score touchdowns. It just got the best of him. So he deliberately bumped into them and then tried to antagonize a situation. It's the typical thing we have seen them do all throughout history to our people. They do a deliberate act, and if we react to it, then we started the whole thing. It's all our fault. And you know how it always goes down. They still get preferential treatment in who's believed. It still goes on to this very day. But it's not as strong as it used to be because everything now is caught on camera. So when they pull these little stunts and they get caught red-handed, they can't get out of it as easily as they could years ago. Now, being caught on camera is making a difference. So since this incident, the cop has been terminated. Okay. And I think it had a lot to do with it was loaded on social media and the public outrage. A lot of people in the public were contacting the school and letting them know they didn't want that cop up there. They saw him as a danger. So we're going to look at the incident. We're going to look at how people reacted. And then, I hope you'll come back because I got Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, did an interview on Fox News. And a lot of people felt like, it was really weird and eerie, and you'll see it. So I have that coming up. And I also have coming up Errol Musk, the father of Elon Musk, that pretty much did an interview and trying to say Black people could never run America without them. Now, look at the state this world is in. Does it look like they're doing a good job running things? We are literally in a recession, and everybody got too much damn ego to call the recession. Nobody wants to be accountable. The fact that you never want to be accountable, that right there should be reason enough for you never to rule again. So that's coming up as well. So, y'all, let's get to it. Okay. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I am so sick of these racist ass people, y'all. They are everywhere and they showing their ass. So it's this police officer who is working the football game, the South Carolina football game against Texas A&M. So he just supposed to be there to make sure no fans or none other of that stuff happens while the football game is going on. So the South Carolina football player scores a touchdown and he runs into the tunnel because it was a long touchdown. He's coming back to come back to the field. The racist ass police officer walks up to him. This going on live TV, y'all. They showing him. You can see the racist police officer goes up to him and bump him with his shoulder like he mad got his team getting their ass whooped. So he bumps the guy. He bumps him. So the black guy turned back like, what's going on? The fucking racist guy, police officer, just pointing his finger like, I don't know what he was saying, but he just pointed his finger like the black guy was wrong. See, that's what I mean, man. These racist people are everywhere, man, especially down in the South, man. What is y'all fucking problem, man? What is y'all problem? Y'all own everything. Y'all got everything, but yeah, y'all still mad at the black and brown people for a reason I do not know why. They need to fire that police officer immediately. There's no reason for you to even go up to him. Your job is to make sure no fans come on the field or nothing happen to the players, the coaches, the referees, or the staff. That's your only job. But yeah, you want to show your racist ass and they coach your ass on TV, shoving the black guy. because you mad that they beating the dog shit out of your team, man. I'm sick of these races, man. I am sick of these races, man. When y'all gonna wake up like, we don't want nothing from y'all white people, man. We don't want to be around y'all white people, but yet black people is on y'all minds every minute, every hour, every day, every week. What do y'all want, man? Y'all got every fucking thing, all the privilege that y'all want, but yet y'all still want to mess with us, man. That guy need to be fired, man. That guy need to be fired, man. I am sick of this, man. I'm just sick of this, man.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is George Cook at African American Reports. I'm sure by now you've all seen the video of a Texas State trooper intentionally bumping two South Carolina University football players. And what's so sad is this marvel was otherwise a great game. I'm going to show you the video now, then comment on it. Check this out, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm not going to mince words here. That Texas State trooper intentionally walked through those two men and bumped shoulders with them in the hopes that something would kick off and he could possibly arrest them for getting physical with a police officer. And think about this. He did that in front of thousands of people in the stadium and millions of people watching at home. What do you think he would do to somebody one-on-one if he was to stop them on the road? Now, thankfully, he was immediately relieved of his duties and sent home. And the Texas Department of Public Safety is currently investigating this state trooper. And what's so sad is nobody's talking about how great the game was. Texas A&M was down 33 at halftime and came back and actually won the game. But because of the racist actions of one police officer or one state trooper, no one's talking about that. All right, y'all, stop telling us that racism doesn't exist and stop telling us that certain people have no business wearing a badge. Many of us just saw proof on national television. All right, y'all, goodbye and God bless.
Here comes the next play. Great pass. Watch this track speed. This is awesome. I mean, this is just awesome speed. Now, when he goes through the end zone right here, you'll see where he is. And notice all the way over here is this asshole right here in his uniform. So the kid goes through the end zone. His teammates go after him. They're celebrating. The cop's probably pissed because he's an A&M fan. As the kids are coming back, all of a sudden you're going to see the cop come into frame. He has walked all the way over there. He's going to walk into frame, and instead of stopping and moving out of the way, he elbows the two players and then turns around and talks shit on the kid. Dude, you can straight go fuck yourself.
As you can see in that video, the pig was clearly trying to provoke the players. He wanted a reaction so he could paint them as violent black men and then justify using force against them. Like, you can see he ran into them on purpose, and it looked like he was trying to start something from the very beginning. He basically set the situation up hoping they would react. And also shout out to the players for keeping their cool and not giving him what he wanted, because that's what he wanted. He wanted a reaction. And that kind of behavior from an officer is dangerous and unacceptable. Like, an officer who acts like that should face consequences, because there's no real excuse for trying to escalate a situation just to harm people. So the state of Texas, take his badge.
I know everyone has seen the Texas A&M South Carolina incident in regards to that trooper who has been fired. Good. In regards to he intentionally bumped two college players, and then and proceeded to talk to them as if they were beneath them. But the thing that people are also missing is when the young brother ran the touchdown, I don't know if he was a college student or whatever, purposely came over and slapped the ball out of the brother's hand. And I heard one content creator on here, I guess he was a Texan A&M, alumni, basically calling them the trooper an a-hole. No, he wasn't an a-hole. That's straight up racist. And again, I'm glad that he got terminated. But what's really sad about that is the fact somebody else in the police, law enforcement, is going to hire this trooper. And then that's going to make it worse on us because he's going to blame basically the incident that he caused on us. So you're gonna have that racist SOB back out on the streets. And I guess he really didn't think that someone's gonna, catch him on camera, but I'm glad that they did. And this individual in the White House got y'all all up with your chest out. And you keep doing mess like that, you're gonna end up being in the ICU, or you're gonna be in a dirt bed. Because we're not having it. We're not. He wouldn't have done two professional brothers like that. He wouldn't have. He may have, but it's a pretty good chance that he wouldn't have done that. And to that cat that slapped the football out of that brother's hand, like I said, boy, two things, as I always say, two type of Caucasians. White people, you all are just straight. You all are just straight evil, the straight devils. This is just so sickening. Constantly have to deal with you all. Sickening.
Did you all see this cop shoulder the college football player?
Yeah.
Did you all see that? Cop has already been relieved of his duties. He's been fired. Player walking out of the tunnel. So what do you think? How do you see that? Was it the cop shouldering him? Who should have moved for who? That's the question here.
Actually, if you look at it, the one guy tried to move over to the side.
Yep.
Yeah, 27. Look, he tried to move over. Look, he tried to get out the way.
He both been in radio.
Nah, he was salty. He wanted smoke. That's what
Show me some damn respect. I'm a cop.
He was salty because Texas A&M was getting BTA. Like it's not that deep.
Hey, he's no average cop. He's a cowboy hat cop. You got to show him some fucking respect. He earned that cowboy hat. That's like a Boy Scout badge. You got to do some stuff to get that cowboy hat. They don't just hand those out.
You don't just get that, man. Come on now. They trying to put that work in. You just hot because your team losing.
Dude, and number 8, he could have kind of got buck with him if he wanted to, but he kind of just shrugged it off. So that's good for number 8. You don't want to do that. That wouldn't end well.
Yeah, that'd be crazy,
especially with a cop like that.
No,
yeah.
Sure.
But damn, the cop is in the wrong. I think. What do you think?
He's absolutely in the wrong.
Because I back the blue. I am pro cop, but this guy. You can see him doing that, like he wanted that contact.
Like get on my way. Like
what's crazy is number 8 ain't even really bump into him like that.
Yeah. What do y'all think in the chat, guys? Was the cop in the wrong? Cop's tripping.
He tripping.
And I feel like I got a little bit more context in this next video. So it wasn't like the game was just starting. It was like right after a huge play.
He do that just scored?
Yeah.
Oh, nah.
He just scored a touchdown.
So number 8, look, I told you.
And I guess he just runs into the tunnel. And I feel like I think I saw the cop. Then the cop's like, I better go check it out. He walks into the tunnel too, just to get a little shoulder bump.
Oh, no, he was definitely salty. I don't care.
On live national television, he decides to do that.
Yeah, bro.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, he was in the wrong, huh, guys?
He's definitely in the wrong.
All right, let's move it on. We got to move fast. We got a lot to get to.
Ain't shit funny about this. This is actually really, really scary and traumatizing. Let me slow it down so I can show y'all that he did this shit on purpose. As you can see, number 8 and number 27 are trying to part the Red Sea and be respectful and move out of his way. And he extended this arm to run into number 27 and then turns around and looks at the players like it's their fault while number 8 is trying to avoid him. The context of this is one of these players had just scored an 80-yard touchdown. He had just caught a ball for an 80-yard touchdown, which means he made a really big play, right? And then he goes to grab his leg and runs back to the locker room with one of his teammates. And as they're walking back onto the field, this state trooper runs into them on purpose. I'm not quite understanding who he felt like in this moment or what led him to do that, but I do know that it is very dangerous to have a man like this that is that fucking weird, carrying around a gun and supposed to be protecting the people at that game when one of the players in uniform walks past him and he treats him like this. I don't know if the racism came over his body and he had a war flashback or something. I don't know if there's something wrong with him mentally, but this shit is weird. Because if a state trooper is going to act like this, at a college football game on the job in his uniform to players in their uniforms in front of thousands of people and thousands of cameras, I can only imagine what he's like in private. I hope he didn't only get relieved of his duties for this one specific game, because they said that this is all they're releasing publicly, right? That he was sent home and relieved of his duties for this game. Yeah, I hope that he gets fired, because this is a dangerous person. I don't care.
Is track speed.
Got to talk about the Texas DPS trooper, man, involved in confrontation with the South Carolina players, man. And everybody is still talking about this thing. Stephen A., LeBron James, Ryan Clark, and plenty of other people chimed in on this topic, man. So here's the viral clip that everybody is talking about. As you guys can see, the trooper walks up to the players and he just like, and he's looking for a confrontation. And they even have another video slowing down. And you can see the players, they were trying to get out of his way, but the guy was looking for a confrontation. Even the criminal defense attorney said the same thing.
I mean, there's nothing I could ever think in my mind that he would have a valid reason to do that. He is trying to start something. He went to them trying to start something, probably, hopefully, in his mind that, well, maybe I can get a reaction out of them, then I can arrest them or do whatever. I don't know, but it's horrible and it's humiliating for A&M to even have this be involved with their name. It really is.
So that's why even people like LeBron James even chimed in on the topic and said that the A&M cop needs to be suspended. That was premeditated and corny as he went out of his way to start some do better, man. So that's what LeBron James had to say, man. So let me show you guys these video clips that I do have for you guys about the topic. And be sure to hit that thumbs up button. That really does help these videos get pushed out to the algorithm. And I really do appreciate that, guys.
What happened at the Texas A&M South Carolina football game is unacceptable for an officer who was there to protect everyone in the stadium to walk toward those young players with that level of aggression, that level of intention, that level of purpose, and that purpose being nothing for good is something that just can't happen. And now, if you are these young men's parents, this is worst case scenario for you. This is something you've coached your kids through. You've told them how to behave. You told them what to say. You've told them how to look. And you told them all of these things just to stay alive. And so now in this situation, someone who is in that stadium to protect them is the aggressor. And here's my biggest problem with the whole thing. There was 100,000 people in the stands. There were 2 entire football teams on the field, and there were millions of people watching on TV. So what kind of decisions does this officer make when no one is watching, when there are no immediate consequences? And thank God that Texas A&M acted extremely quickly to at least try to rectify the situation so everyone on that football field and in those stands could feel safe. But this is a cautionary tale. This is a warning. There are those people that feel so entitled and so empowered and have that level of audacity and also intoxication on power that they believe that they're above the law. It's not just about protecting those young men on the field, which is something we have to do. It's about protecting those young people in these streets, in these schools that just walk around in everyday life from those who don't understand the power of the badge and the responsibility of it. Thank God today worked out the way it did and we got a great SEC battle, but not every young man is so lucky.
Oh my God. Even if you're not a sports fan, you have to watch this. This South Carolina football player, he just scored a touchdown and he's injured limping into the tunnel. It's a gigantic game against the number 3 team in the nation, Texas A&M, and South Carolina takes a lead. But as he's walking out of the tunnel, this Texas A&M state trooper bumps the dude and then tries to fight the South Carolina receiver. Take a look at it in slow motion. The A&M cop bumps the South Carolina football player, and then he turns around and tries to incite a riot. Thankfully, Texas A&M dismissed the cop, and I ain't got to deal with it, but wow.
This is a no-brainer to me. Nick Harper for South Carolina catches a pass, scampers down the field for a damn long touchdown run, runs into the tunnel because he's holding his hamstring, and then his teammates come to help him because they know that something must be wrong because he kept going in there and he's holding his hamstring. He comes back out. You can see the officer at the stadium walking in between 2 players and literally bumps into both of them and flexes his arms out before turning around and telling them to get on out of here and all of this other stuff. We saw it. It's clear as day. It's an automatic suspension. The man shouldn't be allowed to work the game again. What you doing messing with a player like that for? Was somebody in street clothes that you didn't know was a player? You knew exactly who it was. You knew it was a player for South Carolina. You knew that, and you did it anyway. There's nothing to think about here. There's no argument. There's no excuse on the part of the behavior of the officer. He shouldn't even be allowed to cover the games anymore, and definitely should be suspended.
Yo, this man ought to be ashamed of himself. This Texas A&M state trooper just walked straight into Nick Harbor, South Carolina Gamecock wide receiver, after he caught an 80-yard touchdown pass. Check it out. Harbor's walking up the ramp because he's like, man, I just scored an 80-yard touchdown. And it looked like he might have hurt his hamstring. And as he's walking back, the state trooper says, you know what? You just scored a touchdown on my team. Man, you know what? You just messed up my parlay. And he walks dead smack into him on purpose and gives him a forearm shiver. Now, I know these college players are getting paid nowadays, and I understand that they're making buku money, a lot, millions, some of them, hundreds of thousands, others, and multiple thousands for most. But that doesn't mean that just because they score on your team, that you have the right to walk through them and basically physically assault them on the field. Now, the players handled it the right way, look back, say, yeah, man, what is you on? What's going on here? But that state trooper should be ashamed of himself. So far as to say, when he watches that back, he needs to put out a public apology. And if he won't put out a public apology, then he probably needs to be suspended, because you're a grown man. And as a grown man, you're not supposed to be treating young men in that manner. You're supposed to be showing them the right example. So what he should have done in that moment was stepped aside, let those guys walk back down the tunnel so they could get back to the game that they were playing. Not take out any personal vendettas against them because you're upset that they just scored on your team. It always sucks when the adults start acting like children, but those South Carolina Gamecock players did the right thing and walked away.
Hi, can you tell me if the game's still on?
Everyone wants to know what happened at the game and whatnot, with me and those two hooligans who almost jumped me in broad daylight. Everyone say it's my fault this.
Well, tough tits. I tell you that much. Tough tits.
You want to put your hands on me like a grown man? I'm going to treat you like a grown man, son. Don't you ever what? And that's the problem with these young jigaboos today. They got their NILs and all this and TikTok that and TikTok this. You need to teach these sons of bitches some manners. Tough tits. Shabuya. Son.
Okay. So y'all, so anyway, so you saw what that officer did, it's no telling what he has done to our people out on them streets. They get assigned the stadium work. So he probably got assigned that for Texas A&M. You know how it is. Cops and troopers, they get assigned certain jobs. So he got assigned to protect the stadium. And that's what he did with his time instead of doing his job, bumping into people and trying to get a fight jumped off. That's not your job. But it makes me think maybe y'all should look at every police stop he did or every call he answered and see how he was reacting to the people. Because if he does that, it's no telling how much stuff this man has done on the job that they sat around and ignored. See, the only reason why he got caught, he was dumb enough to do this mess while cameras were rolling. So right there tells you he didn't have any brain. He has a bird brain. because at those stadiums, cameras are everywhere. They're everywhere. Why would you do that? You got to be dumber than a bag of rocks. So, but I'm glad, other reports said he was terminated from his position. But unfortunately, that don't mean much in America. He can go right down the road or go to another county and get hired again. You can't just fire somebody like this. You got to get that peace license away from him so he can't continue to do police work. If you're just terminating him, we know how they roll. He just going to go to the next town over and get hired. Okay, that's all he's going to do. Because in this country, they don't do the right thing. If he's willing to go out of his way to bump into two people that did absolutely nothing to him just to get a fight started or get those guys arrested, because that's what he was probably trying to do. He was so mad that they were whipping his team. He's not fit to even be a cop. He's not fit to be a cop. Mhm. Well, most countries, cops do not have all that authority. Here in America, they allow these cops to have all kinds of authorities, but we know it's not just any cop, it's white cops primarily. But yeah, I mean, that's what they do. They elevate these cops, and nobody else does that, y'all. You go to any other country, no other country elevates their cops like they do here. So, y'all, this is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. And at 1:45, we will be going over Erica Kirk's first interview on Fox with Jesse Waters. And y'all can watch her, and it's amazing how she always got that white tissue in her hand, and she keeps dabbing around her eyes, and I don't see nothing coming out of her eyes. But you be the judge when you get to see it. All right, so G. Bowman Jr., thank you so much for your support and for your super chat. Terminated. Yeah, yes, yes, yeah. It should be a lot more. I wish they would put charges on him. They should put charges on his ass too. All right, y'all. 1:45. Shalom, family.